What's up, everyone? Hope everyone is doing well today. Today is a little bit different. There's no guest. It's just me talking to you guys. Normally, with Inspired Voices, there would be a guest, but I wanted to switch things up. I want to get to a point where I don't have to always rely on the guest to come in, because sometimes with scheduling, I'm juggling between my schedule, between the guest schedule, between the place that I usually record at, their schedule. So it's just like a juggling thing where sometimes it just doesn't work out. And so I want to get to a point where, sometimes I would have a guest, sometimes I wouldn't have a guest. So this is one of those things where I'm just going to try and do something different and see if it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. FYI for the viewers, for the people watching the video portion of this, matching headphones, matching shirt. Didn't even realize it until now. Nice. All right. So I basically want to just talk about a little bit about what's been going on lately, some things that I've been thinking about. When I'm doing so many things, like I'm an audio engineer at SAS. I'm part-time as a contractor, not an employee. And then I'm an acting teacher. And then I tape and coach actors sometimes for auditions they have for major TV and film. And so I do a lot of different things. I create sketches with my roommate. I'm doing all these things in my life. And I don't know, for the people who understand this, maybe they have a lot of things going on as well, but I have so much going on that I think about, oh my God, am I slacking in one of these things? In one of the things that I'm doing, am I slacking here? Am I slacking there? And do I need to, because I'm doing so many different things, I have to make sure that I'm always auditing myself, and I'm always auditing myself to make sure. And sometimes I'm like lying in bed at the end of the day and just about to go to sleep, and I'm just thinking about, did I miss something? Am I supposed to be doing something that I didn't know, or that I'm forgetting? And so I get to that point. And then I start auditing myself, and then I'm like, no, that's good. I could pick it up here, but other than that, it's pretty good. So, but even though I say it's good, I still feel like I'm missing something. Like I'm supposed to be doing something or taking something to another level, which everything I'm doing, I'm always taking it to another level. But just worrying pretty much that I'm gonna be slacking somewhere, or not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, because I do have a lot of responsibilities, so I have to make sure that I keep up with those responsibilities as well, and not forgetting. So that's why I have a calendar. If it's not on the calendar, then I tend to forget, and that's even when I hang out with someone. That's how crazy my schedule is sometimes. So I mean, I wanted to talk about a little bit about, I've been seeing, there's so many things going on in this world, right now, especially with politics, the government, and a lot of different things. And I'm just like, man, this is most of the reason why I wanted to do this Inspired Voices. And now I'm starting a new segment with Matt called Keeping It Raw. It's going to be coming out soon. But that's also like a positive mindset talk kind of thing, where we talk about our different people's mindsets about creativity, flaws, failures, achievement, whatever it is. And I'm really looking forward to that coming out for sure. It's going to be fun. It's going to be funny as well. But with all these things going on surrounding us in the world, I just want to put out some positivity, because obviously there's so many channels and people doing my kind of thing, and there's also a lot of people that do it for the money or do it for the followers and stuff like that. And I've gotten to the point in my life where I don't really care if I get the followers or not. For me, it's not about that. For me, it's about really wanting to make a dent in this world, to change the world somehow. And obviously through social media, it's a big platform where I can voice my opinion and um, gain perspective from other people, and other people get perspective from me and stuff like that. So, coming from a background of where I changed my life completely, and I mean completely. I mean, the way I think now to the way I used to think, it's a complete 180. I used to think so negatively. You know, just any little thing, I would just curse the world. It's almost like I was pissed off at myself. I was pissed off at the world, and I just didn't want to deal with anything. And because I was so pissed about it. And so, yeah, I was sick of being pissed, to put it in lame terms. But I was just so sick of being pissed. I was sick of myself being upset that I wanted to change that. And I knew that if I wanted to make a difference in this world, if I wanted to have an impact in this world, that I needed to start with myself. So I was living in Greensboro at the time, and then when I decided to change my life, is kind of when my lease was up. And my roommate at the time, he bounced. He went to the military, so I had no roommate. And I just said, you know what, let me just move back to Raleigh, North Carolina. And I told myself that I was going to change my life then. And I did. I started off, I didn't have an apartment when I first moved to Raleigh. I moved in with my sister for a little bit and her boyfriend for a few months. And then I got my own apartment. And then after that, I met my neighbor. He was moving in at the time, and I say, hey, man, I don't know what I said to him, but I pretty much introduced myself or acknowledged that he was moving in. And then he stopped what he was doing, and we started talking. And then we pretty much became best friends at that time. And he pretty much helped me change my life because he knew what I needed. Like, my communication skills were complete, like, in the negatives. I didn't know how to communicate with people at all, or to approach anyone, not just females, but males as well. I mean, like, I didn't know how to talk to anyone, and I mean that literally. So, and it helped that he was in a band, so I would go out to his shows at night and just practice talking to people, walking around and talking to different groups and talking to different people here and there. And eventually I got comfortable enough that where I could it just comes second nature. So, and then I pretty much took it to a new level when I did improv. When I did improv for the first time, when I saw it for the first time, because I never seen it live, it kind of like, it changed the way I thought, because, it was like, wow, this feels like my group of people. Like, I've always done like little character voices, done different accents for no reasons. And I don't know, I just fell in love with it. It was the whole yes and of improv really just helped me out. Made me feel comfortable enough to try and take a risk and take things to a new level, because I knew I wasn't going to get judged by it. And then taking those risks, I found different things where I could just take my skills to different levels. And I really got involved with improv at the time. And then I started acting first. So I did an intro to acting class in Raleigh Little Theater here in Raleigh. And then I took classes privately. And then I did an improv. Yeah, then I started doing improv. I believe so. I think that's right. I don't know. I don't really keep track of that. I just know what the next thing is going to be. But with going back to, everything around us, it just feels like a lot of negativity. The things that we read on social media about what the government's doing and what other people are doing, the racial tension that's, always, it's always been here. It's just, more exposed now since we have, our phones. It all comes down to doing the right thing. Like, whatever happened, to just doing the right thing. I know there's a lot of people that do the right thing, but there's also a lot of people that don't do the right thing. And it seems like the ones who are in charge, the big corporations, government and stuff like that, it seems like a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them tend to not do the right thing. Those decisions that are made, is a lot of it has to do with money and power. And it sucks that, the people who are supposed to, have our backs pretty much, are thinking about that instead of us, instead of the people that are living in this country or in the state, whatever, in the community, whatever it is. So I don't know. It's just, I want to make sure that people know that, hey, there's a lot of positivity going on in this world. It's not just negative. It's almost like, negative has such a big impact in our lives. Something negative happens to you. Oh man, it's like the only thing that you could think about is this one negative thing. But we forget that with that one negative thing, there's still so many good things that happen along with it. Like, yes, this happened to you, but also all these good things happen at the same time, because it's just that one negative that we tend to concentrate on, instead of all these positive things that happen to us. So I don't know. It's just that whole thing about, thinking about the positive instead of the negative. I mean, that's kind of what it boils down to. We have to think about that. And it sounds so cliche. I mean, there's so many people doing what I do, right? The whole motivation thing. I'm not considering myself a motivational speaker or anything like that. I just want to spread the positivity, and even spreading the positivity has a cliche sound to it, but it seems like all those cliche things that we all know and we grew up with are really true. And I don't know what happened to make it a cliche thing, but we have to go back to it, I think. We have to go back to the cliches. And I'm not saying I'm not talking about bad cliches or stereotypes or anything like that. I'm talking about, do good and good comes back to you. Those kind of cliches, those positive cliches, is what we have to go back to, and remember those and what it really means. Because, I can't remember what the saying is, something positive that people say, and that people know. But I never really knew what it meant until I actually went through it. Like I said, I was negative for a long time. Like, I don't know, I'd say 20 years at least, as far as I can remember. And so when I would completely change my life to a positive state, the first thing I did, I automatically felt so much better. Like, I actually felt happy for the first time in a long time. And it's amazing that I was able to, that happened. It started, The Secret. If for the people who don't know, The Secret is I don't know what you call it, a film. It's not really a movie or anything, but it's a study learning film type of thing where they teach you about the law of attraction, pretty much. So it teaches you how to use the law of attraction to your advantage. The Secret does get a lot of beef because, Well, one of the reasons is because, it's about putting in the work, not about, oh, if I think about it and if I feel it, then it'll happen. Um, it's both. It's putting it in your mind and really feeling that you have it, but it's also about working hard towards it and taking action. I think the law of attraction really, it helped. It's the first thing that I learned as far as trying to live a positive life, and it helped me. When I needed to get to the next level is when the work came in. So it started off with a secret. Then it started off with motivational speakers like E.T. or Les Brown, and then it ended up with Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. And he was talking about work. You got to put in the work in order to get the results. Which is, I wish the secret would could have mentioned that a little bit more. They did mention that, you got to take action. If you want that house, you got to be in that house. But it's not just being in that house. It's working towards it. I mean, you're not going to get $1 million if you don't put in $1 million worth of work into it. So, now that I have that positive, so it was layers. It was layers for me. So first I had to change the mindset first, and then I had to go in and be specific about each thing that I do. So I'm a big advocate of just putting in the work and having a positive mindset. I think it helps everyone. I think it helps a lot of people, and I think it really just, all those excuses that people make up over this happened, and this happened. It's like, that doesn't really matter. Everything happens to everyone, right? At some point in their life, a death in a family, or, just a lot of going through. I went through homelessness and family separation and child abuse. And, but none of it I would change. Like, I would never change the fact that all those things happened to me, because it made me who I am, and I realized that. And I guess I don't know how to teach self-awareness, but I'm a big advocate on self-awareness. It's what it all boils down to. Like, all your decision making is based on how self-aware you are of yourself. If you think that it's not going to be good for you or your career or healthy for you or whatever it is, then you're not going to do it. But you have to be self-aware in order to make those decisions. So I don't know. I just don't know how to work on self-awareness. I mean, there's a few things that I could think about that teaches self-awareness, and I've talked about this before in a couple of episodes of Inspired Voices. Is martial arts is one of them. Being self-aware of what your body is doing, your surroundings especially, is what martial arts teaches you. And then acting, of course. I mean, I do the Lee Strasberg technique. It's an exercise where you do relaxation for an hour, and then the next hour you do sensory work. And when you're doing that relaxation exercises, you're paying attention to where you're holding tension in your body, and then you release it through movement and sound, and then the tension moves somewhere else in your body, and then you do the same things until it just goes back and forth, and I think that really made me self-aware of what my body was doing and how I was reacting to things, and I was paying attention to, like, if I got mad or if I got sad, whatever it is, or happy even, I would pay attention to what my body was doing at the time. Like, was my heart racing, or did I get goosebumps, or anything like that, or how I was positioned at the time as well. I was like, oh, am I shocked like that? You know what I mean? So it's all these things that could really help out self-awareness as far as like the normal day working person. To build self-awareness, I don't know, I think you just got to find your thing, and I don't know, just, I don't know, pay attention to what your body is telling you. Um, if you laugh, think about what your body's doing, you know. Think about where you're holding tension when you're laughing. You're probably not tense at all. You're probably just more relaxed and stuff like that. Or when you are nervous and stuff like that, feel where you're holding that tension. I don't know, and just keep doing that until you build some self-awareness. But I mean, might be completely wrong on that. I have no idea how to build that self-awareness, for sure, like 100%. If you could build that self-awareness, man, I think it's a lifesaver. It seems like a lifesaver. I always said self-awareness is the foundation to living a successful life. And a lot of people think, well, success, I'm not rich. Well, it's not about money. For me, it's not just about money. It's about happiness. Happiness. I can't say that word, damn it. Happiness, health, and wealth. Right? If you have all three of those and you're satisfied, you're happy, then good. You're successful. You're doing what you're doing what you want to do. Now that doesn't mean that if you don't have all three, then, you're disappointed and you're not good enough and all that stuff. I mean, I'm not to where I want to be. I'm still working on my health. I'm still working on my wealth, and I'm still working. I am happy. So, and I'm happy because I'm grateful. So it doesn't matter where you are in the spectrum of life. If you're poor, you're rich, you're whatever it is, you're homeless, whatever it is. To be grateful is a huge thing. It's the first thing that I learned actually from studying the law of attraction, is to be grateful for what you have now. And it was hard at first. It was really hard because I didn't have much, I guess you could say, at the time. And so, but I still kept doing it. I still kept working on feeling like I was grateful, and not just saying that I'm grateful for my headphones. If I'm wearing headphones right now, for the people who aren't seeing this, it's not just saying it, right? It's about feeling it to the core, to the point where it actually makes you smile and you can't stop smiling. Some people know this, some people don't, but I have a gratitude rock where I keep it in my pocket, and I keep this rock in my pocket every single day. And in the morning when I wake up and I'm about to leave the door, I take the rock and I say something that I'm grateful for, and I really feel it to the point where I smile. And then when I got it, I say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and then I put the rock in my pocket. And then at nighttime, when I'm back and I'm about to put my PJs on, so I take off my pants, I have the rock, right? I put the rock out, take the rock out, say something else that I'm grateful for, and to the point, and I feel it. I feel it to the point where it makes me smile, and I can't stop smiling no matter how hard I try. And then that's it. I go to bed. So I've been doing that for probably like straight on, probably like 3 months now. Something like that. Before that, I kind of forgot about the rock. I used to do it all the time. Then I would do it once in a while, and then I just stopped. And now I'm starting to pick it back up. And the changes have been like enormous. Like so many good things have happened in my life because of being grateful for what I have. That energy that you feel inside, you let it out into the world, and everyone that surrounds you, just, they can feel that energy, that gratefulness that you have for the things that you have, for the things that are in your life. And it comes back that way. You know what I mean? People like that. People just don't like people who are mad or sad all the time. No, it's about, happiness. If I could even a smile, walking down the street, smiling at someone as we cross each other, that could have made their day. And I had that smile on because I was grateful for what I had. And to live in a world, where there's so many opportunities, especially at this time, this era, I mean, you have to be grateful for that. I mean, Would you rather live now or in the 1800s where there's not really much going on? You know what I mean? As far as toilets go and stuff like that. Yeah, man, just be grateful. Be grateful for what you have right now, today, every day, every single day. You know, there's Thanksgiving. I don't really celebrate Thanksgiving. That day is a day of thanks. But I think every day should be a day of thanks, of gratitude, of the things that you have, of the situations that you've been through and stuff like that. No matter how bad, you should be grateful for it because it made you who you are. And every single person is a strong person. Some people just haven't found out yet. All right. I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much. Like I said, this is the first time that I'm doing something like this, so not sure how it's going to turn out. Not sure how the feedback's going to go. If you like it, comment below or leave a review if you'd like for the podcast listeners. Hit me up on Facebook, The Real Oliver Riera. On Instagram, The Real Oliver Riera. I couldn't get my name. I couldn't get it. Some people had it. It was sad. And you know what? I should hit them up because there's not a lot of posts that they're doing. They're not really using the account. So maybe I could fish that name for myself. But I am grateful for what I have. Peace.